So just doing maintenance, changing some filters over there. Then I walk up, and this is a weird building. It's pretty warm out, but these units heat when it's warm. I got cold air out of this one, and then a buzzing out of this one. That's probably combustion fan motor. That's not making some sort of deal. But there's no pressure switches on these carriers here, and they are a big pain in the butt. And they're hard to look at the heat exchangers, so I'm hoping that's not the case. But let's dig into it. Whoa, dudes, check this out. Never seen this happen before. This thing is still running. And look at this capacitor, dude. I can't hardly believe it. I don't know if you can see it, dude. It's totally blown up. And this thing is running, dude. That's so crazy. Those things always just die when that happens. I bet the other one's blown up too. What's blowing these things up, I wonder? I always get these blown up. I wonder when I changed them out last. I don't know. Anyways, I just wanted to show you that before it stops working, because it's like, no way, man. How does this thing running? Dang. Alright, so I'm pretty sure I get what's happening. So let's see, it's going to be a little hard. But here's the ignition board. That feeds it. They always have a wire hot here. It's a 460 motor. So, when you take amp draws, I'm getting 0.1, I'm point, well, all sorts of weird stuff on that one, see that? And then I'm black. Yeah, so kind of hopping around, which you don't normally see. And then what's the full load amps? 0.25. So we're drawing a lot higher than we should. Then if you come over here, let's see if I can get this on video or not. Probably not. So, but anyways, if you go here to here, you get 132 volts there. If you go here to ground, the yellow to ground, you get 2 whatever, 277. Since it's 480. But I don't know, I haven't checked black to ground, but I have a feeling that this thing is shorter to ground. So if I turn this off and take my own meter, what I'll find is that part's partially shorted to ground, and then it's actually making voltage through the ground that's keeping this motor running, as weird as it sounds. So instead of making a path back to its normal electrical circuit, it's making its path to ground. Blew out the capacitor because it's overamping, and then that's why it's still running. It's happened to me once before with a condenser fan motor, and you get all sorts of goofiness. So let's start there. So then, sure enough, I checked it out. So you'll see I wedged my meter on that one, K ohms, to ground. 240 ohms. Now, most times you get a grounded short, it'll just blow the breaker, and because it's such a high amp draw, but it's grounded just a little bit in these windings. Probably where it looks a little crappy right there to the casing. So you're getting actually an electrical path circuit to ground. And it can mess you up the first time you see one. Because like I said, no short to ground, you just blow the fuses or the circuit breaker. But every once in a while you'll get a slight one, and this thing will keep running. So that's cool. I'm going to replace this motor. Probably the board just for fun, because it looks a little old and gnarly. That's the deal. So if you ever get one of these that you gotta do for these big carriers, one thing you gotta know is that it's easy to get this off. There's just some screws, but then this got this cooling wheel, which is separate from the combustion wheel, which are separate plates. You take this plate off, and then, but you still can't get the motor out without getting that combustion wheel off. And then the cooling wheel, you can't get this top bracket off that you totally need. So the best way to do it is you can either struggle for hours and have no success, or you can take a sawzall and cut right in the shaft on both sides. And then with the motor, get a wheel and a cooling blade, because that looks new, but you'll still never get it off. You might get it off, but it's pretty flimsy. It's pretty flimsy, and you'll bend it and it sucks. So you just order those two with the motor, cut it. Don't try taking it apart. I've been there. It sucks. Oh, and I'm getting juices all over. That's not cool. Capacitor oil. But that's a friendly tip so you don't start struggling.